Hello, welcome back for our next episode of Champions of the Fae. I'm really excited to dive into this. We all just got to level up and do really cool character stuff, so it's going to be fun to see what everybody's doing with that. Before I pass it on over to Andy to introduce everybody and get us going, I'm just going to say a few words about our sponsors. Just get those into chat. They are Fundamental RPG and Die Hard Dice. Fundamental RPG is a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play any style of game that you like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. You can pick up your copies that look like this on Amazon. There's a link right there in chat. Or if you prefer the PDF, or if you just want to try out the quick play guide, that is free. You can pick those up at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen. And then Die Hard Dice, you can find all of their stuff at dieharddice.com. As you might imagine, they make amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. If you use the code FUNRPG, that's all one word, all caps, you can get 10% off of your order. And I highly recommend checking out the 7-piece set. That's the Mythica Gold and Amethyst. They sent me a set recently. I'll hold some of these up to the camera so you can see them. They are super pretty. And they got a nice weight to them for a metal set, so they're not too heavy, not too light. They're very satisfying to roll. So go check that out. All that out of the way, Andy, take it away.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being here. So we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves first and remind everybody about who we're playing for this evening. And then we'll do a little bit of a recap and jump back in. So starting in our top corner, let's head over to Zan. Remind us who you are and who you're going to be playing for us tonight.
Sure thing. So I'm Zan. I am a therapeutic GM and do a lot of homebrew stuff. And I am playing Paskin. Wow, that was awful. Let me try that one more time. There we go. Who is the Ascendant Dragonborn monk. And now something else with this new level up. We'll keep that quiet until the time is ready. And yeah, I've got more stuff, but I'll talk about it later.
Awesome. I'm really excited to see what that new level up is. Unfortunately, once again, X the Transient, or Amira Ash is not going to be able to play with us tonight, but you should go check them out on Twitter, again, at X the Transient. Moving up to the next one. Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're going to be playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm Emily. I'm at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist and I complain a lot. I'm actually doing art again. Yay! And I play Reverie, a tiefling swashbuckler rogue who actually likes to do nice things from time to time, but don't let that get around. And I apparently missed a lot. I'm excited to get back in on that.
We will catch you up in just a second. Hi, Bobby. Moving right below, we're going to go to Mr. Parr. Tell us about yourself and who you're playing for us tonight.
Hey, I'm Parr. I just sort of exist on the internet, and I'm playing Dram Loomis, a half-elf darkling, the other rogue in the party. I'm just looking forward to another great session tonight.
Wonderful. Let's go up to the top. Anna, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're playing for us tonight.
Yeah, so I'm Anna, aka Archival Just Spawning most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster, and associate producer for Response Team Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast. I play Ruliuela, the Selkie Coldwater sorcerer, both race and subclass from the Children and Champions of the Fae supplement that we've been using. And she has no emotional damage at all to deal with today. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, no. What are you talking about? And Raven, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself and who you're playing for us tonight.
Yeah, I'm Raven. I do a little bit of everything in the tabletop industry. Game design and professional GMing and all kinds of stuff. And then I'm playing Jinx, who's a 6-inch tall sprite. She is, I think I've described her as if you were to combine Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony and Nora from Ruby into one chaotic character. She's a lot of fun to play. She's very hyper. And she is a spell sniper warlock. So a lot of fun in combat too. But that's me and Jinx.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you all get up to tonight. And I am Andrew Martinez. I'm your DM for this evening. I am all of the birds, bugs, snails, and slugs in the whole world, and also all the monsters that are trying to eat you, and everything else that's happening right now. So we'll get to that, me a little bit later on as well. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight. As at the very beginning of this adventure, you were all summoned for some reason by King Oberyn, who told you that everything was going crazy and the realm itself had been mixed up a little bit. The 6 different realms of the Feywilds had all been merged together. Planar travel has ceased to exist at the moment. Everybody trapped off plane is there and everybody trapped on plane is here. And that's not good for him. So he sent you on a wild mission to go figure out what was happening. And then you went through a couple of different realms, explored a couple of different places, and now have found yourself here at the Western Star in Nymphindor. As you got a couple of new items and talked to a couple of new friends, and found out that there were some people that maybe you recognized here at the watering hole where you have slept for the evening. As Baskin, you were number one sent a message in the evening and were woken up in the early morning by a little mushroom folk. Stands about a foot and a half tall, inky black starting to drip from its cap as it woke you up with a series of kicks and not so polite commands as it drags you up out of bed on a mission to go return something that was supposedly stolen by Queen Titana, the Fey Queen, by your employers. And as you moved out in the early mornings and made your way over to the shores of the Nymphindorian coast, you thought a little bit about what exactly was happening right now and what your goals were. And that's where we're going to pick up. Everyone else is still asleep. It's the early mornings, hours of this morning. You can see that there is a bright star still up above your outpost and shimmering over the seas that you're currently looking out of. You can see the waters of the Feywilds. As looking out, you can off in the distance see faint shimmering walls that just sort of appear out of the water, and you can count a few of them. Some of them seem to be blocked from where you were sitting, but you can see that there's differences out there in the types of waters that are in front of you. As you stand on the shore of Bashkin with this mushroom, who is looking at you he's on a time limit. He's ready to go right now. As he looks at you again and says, okay, well, now what?
Yeah, I mean, that is a really good question, honestly. And, not really, tell you what, I know you and I know how our various employers do not really like to let us have a little bit of fun on our own time. Let me buy you some coffee. I'm going to go get my friends, and then we can go and figure this out, okay?
You want me to go on without you, or do you want to meet me here? What?
Yeah, we'll meet here.
All right. And it just kind of shunts down into the dirt, and it kind of stops talking.
As Baskin walks away, he goes,
Man, that guy is really fucking pushy.
All right. As you head back in the early morning hours to the watering hole, it is pretty empty right now. And as soon as you turn around, you actually hear the water start to splash and move. As you turn around and look over your shoulder, as your mushroom compatriot is not responding to this at all. They look like a big natural mushroom right now. As out of the water emerges a gargantuan figure, as these massive scales and spines break through the water, as this enormous reptilian-like creature crawls out of the water right next to you. A little bit, not immediately right. You can't touch this thing, but it's right there. And it looks around and it plops its head down on the surface, and it opens its jaw, and a bright blue bubble rolls out slowly and pops. As you see that there are 5 or 6 figures that emerge from this bubble and just walk into the Western Star at the early mornings of the day. And you can see them. They look Fae for sure from what you've seen, but they look a little bit more dark purples and pinks. Some of them have these glittery ethereal wings. They look different than the people here in Nymphindor have. As this gargantuan monster looks around and sees you, and in your head you hear, "Going somewhere?" Also, welcome in all of our raiders. Thank you so much for being here. As you are now addressed by this creature who's looking at you.
I mean, the answer is clearly going to be yes, but the answer to where I was going is probably going to depend on who you are.
Well, I can bring you wherever you want to go. And you're just hearing this voice in your head. It is just looking at you right now. But if you're not sure, I'll be back.
No, I guess I guess I am going to the tavern.
Oh, no, you can walk. I meant, and they gesture like over their shoulder into the ocean behind you.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were some kind of like amphibious taxi service, but I was wrong. My bad. I misread the situation. Okay, yeah, I'll go. And you look after that like super normal mushroom too, okay?
Oh no, I'm gonna be on I got more people to go. You said I'm the super secret. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm gonna bring people back and forth. But
Great,
not
that sounds
into the
fantastic.
city.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Wonderful. I'll see you later. And they just dive back into the water. As you are just left there now on the shore.
I think Baskin starts to walk back and goes,
Man, the weirdos really come out before the sun is up, huh? Wow, this town is really strange.
As you head back into the Western Star outpost, you see that some of the shops are starting to open up. Some people are starting to wake up a little bit as you head back to the watering hole. Everybody else, are you awake right now? What is everybody else up to right now? It is bright early morning. What's everyone up to?
Oh, just staring blankly ahead, watching Dram sleep while converting one type of magic to another. Because Jinx never sleeps.
Yep, that sounds about right. Dram, are you awake yet? Are you just feeling it?
Dram woke up 20 minutes ago. And continued to be asleep, to pretend to be asleep, but now realizes that Jinx will just continue to be there. So gets up.
Fair enough. Really? What about you?
Well, I was left in the room with Lychee. I guess I'm hanging out there waiting to see if Bass comes back or not. Because I have no idea. I assume he's coming back because he left Lychee here. But yeah, I guess at the moment I'm still in the bathtub, just waiting in my seal form.
Perfect. And Reverie.
Reverie's been up for a little bit. Is probably sketching and writing notes as usual. This time, probably Jinx staring and just writing over and over again, always watching. It's almost
always watching.
It's almost like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, but it's just always watching over and over and over again.
Amazing. As Baskin, you enter the watering hole, and there's nobody here right now. It's empty. It's really, really early in the morning. Everybody that was here when you all left for the evening, including Max Boulder, is not here currently. Beto is awake, and he is waving. He's greets you again as you leave. He was not up as you left, but he is here as you return. As he makes eye contact with you and gives you kind of like a, "What are you doing up right now?" kind of look, but he doesn't really say anything to you as you head back upstairs. Unless you have something to say to him, but he doesn't engage. he's pretty hands off.
I think I'll just give him the silent look that two people can share when they acknowledge, like, oh, that thing back there. That was weird, huh? Good thing that's not here anymore. It's like, oh, as you can with a lizard face.
And a hippopotamus face.
That's fair. And Bask will go up and just like start knocking firmly, but not obnoxiously, on the doors, and will stop and knock super hard on the one that Reverie is in, and be like, hey, I know you've been really sleeping in the last little bit, but hey, you got we're going to do a thing and we're making a decision, and like you really need to be here and like put your input in, okay?
Reverie is awake and he looks up from his sketchbook with the eyes of a haunted man and just stares at Patskeen. I'll be there in just a minute.
Okay, cool. And then Basket's just gonna go and maybe a little bit less aggressively knock on everyone else's door.
All right. Yeah, you all hear the knocks on your door. It seems like all of you are awake in some capacity. Where do you want to meet up and chat or do whatever you're going to do next?
We gotta get breakfast first.
That's true.
I think, as I pull myself in seal form out of the bathtub, water everywhere, and then pull the head back and go back into my normal form, into my human form. I will
Awesome.
pick
yeah.
Lychee up, put my hand down, and see if he wants to come up on my arm.
He looks at you and just hops one little finger, but then is pretty skeptical about this whole thing. But he also is, you can tell, roll me an insight check, really.
I'm great at those.
Yeah.
Even 10.
Okay. Yeah, you could tell just like a little bit that this is confusion in the sense of like, but why didn't I go too? Kind of like, okay, I get why he left you behind, but like me? And so that's kind of the little bit of a questionable, like, I'll go with you just because like, what else am I going to do, I guess, right now? So that's where he's at, just
Well,
about.
you can just follow. You don't have to ride.
Oh, he did hop up on your finger, but
Oh, he did.
he flips, yeah. He's going back and forth, skeptical a little bit, but as you open the door again, and there is Baskin in the hallway.
Wasn't sure if you were coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to be here for long, and I'm going to make the assumption that probably the rest of us aren't either. It looks like deadlines are really crushing down at the moment, and so we got like not a whole lot of time at all. We got to decide, like, okay, so I know we got this thing for Oberon, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, fuck that guy. Like, we've gotten way worse shit, except for the free shit, but that's gonna come back to bite us in the ass. I am aware. I know it will. And so we can go through that quest, which I guess is fine. Or I do have some side work that I can do for my employers, and I'm sure if you wanted to maybe wanted to do that, this would really irk Titania a little bit, and so that would be pretty great, just all around. And hey, then maybe you guys could like join the network of hags and stuff. You know, there's always need for creepy old people everywhere you go.
I mean, we can talk to
But
the
I mean, we
group.
can do either, really.
Yeah, we can talk to the group. I mean, we started this quest for Oberon. We really should stick to it. And I don't know that I want to make Titania angry. I just, Savantha could be fixed so it's not how it is now. That would be great. But we can talk as a group and see.
But this is pretty cool. I mean, you got to admit, the other food, like the sauces that you can put on the raw meat, it's totally different, right? Like this place's sauce on raw meat is totally different from this place's sauce on the raw meat. It's great.
That's true.
Okay, yeah. Hey, what is everyone doing? Why are you still in your rooms? I'm screaming outside your door.
As you all do hear this, and at your own pace, head out downstairs and grab some breakfast from Beto, who is ready to. He's made some food. Unless you have anything else to do before you head on downstairs, as he's slowly started to prepare some food for you. Looks similar to the broth that he fed you last night. Slightly different, more watered down. A little bit more oat-y than meat-y. A little bit more of like a breakfast soup than anything else. As he places a bowl in front of all of you. Again, this is a one-size-fits-all kind of establishment. There's bowl sizes, not different at all. As he doesn't bring anything else, he looks at you all and grunts. You good?
I think Jinx would come down and while trying to like balance on her stomach on the side of the bowl, because she's only about 6 inches tall, with like a Sprite-sized cup so she can try to get some of this out of the bowl. So while she's doing that, she looks over at Bosky and goes, yeah, what were you on about? Something about, I thought I heard you say Oberon and deadlines, and I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm not really sure what you were talking about.
I mean, I appreciate your question, and I recognize and accept that it's valid. But I'm going to wait until everyone is here because I do not really want to say this like 5 more times, okay? So maybe have your coffee and then we can start this after whatever our fucking morning rituals are, yeah?
Good plan. And Jinx will pull out her pitcher plant and say the word to make coffee.
And it does. Yeah, just like it does every morning for you.
I was gonna say, while Bask was going on this little rant, Reverie started to just walk up behind him and stop just a few feet behind him, hopefully not within strike range. I'm right here. And goes to sit down.
Wait a second. You might have activated my trap card. I didn't realize that this would be a thing that could happen so soon. I gotta double check.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's
Yeah, that's why I said he's gonna stop a few feet back.
Oh, see, that might not be enough.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's blind sight. Okay, never mind.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Would you stop that? Okay, yes, you made your... Great, I'm glad that you are here. Still going to wait. I'm not telling you. You do not get special treatment, by the way. Good to see that you have apparently decided to rejoin us. Great. Happy to see you. Do you feel better?
He just smiles and goes and sits down.
That's fair. I will never try to feed you catfish sashimi again. Learned my mistake. Probably that was not a great idea. Whoopsie, that was on me. Baskin owns up for that.
Well, I'm honored that you explained it to me first. I feel like that means something since you won't explain it to anybody else.
I mean, I hoped it would have been loud enough for everyone to hear. But I guess I am not loud enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to remember that going forward.
As everybody is now at the table, unless Tram is doing something different, but pretty sure everyone's here. Baskin, whenever you're... Everyone's got their food, everyone's done their morning rituals, gotten their coffee. Ready.
Great. Okay, so please get out a pen and paper if you are a quill and a parchment if you want to write this down, because I am not going back over this one more time, okay? This is not against any of you, but I'm just personally done with it. So what we can do the whatever thing that Oberon wanted us to do forever ago, and I mean, nobody has really been like, oh yeah, Oberon's super cool. Some people were like, here, take this useless stuff that I don't have anymore, so we really did them a favor. Or we could do a little side work for my employer and you know, get one over on Titania, and hey, you know, then maybe you can all work together with me in the fun hag invoy business. Or, you know, we can go to Oberon's thing. I think we just got to figure this out really soon. Like, I saw this ends like nightly rates, and we cannot really stay here for that long. It's a lot. And Oberon, I want to point out that Oberon technically has not paid us. I'm opening the floor up to discussions now.
I don't know. I think we should stick with the quest that we started with. I don't know that it says very good things about us if we abandon it just to go rob someone else.
I mean, part of that sounds good. I mean, that Titania, I mean, it's, claiming that she's the queen of the fairies. Like who died and made her queen? Might be fun to steal from her, but I do want to find out who this Big G is, and we probably should finish one thing before we start another one. Everybody got really quiet after I finished talking, and now I'm self-conscious. And she's just like poking her index fingers together.
Good. I am so happy that you were able to understand what I was feeling like. Yes, great. Wait, I'm still looking at you. Don't go invisible.
Actually, yeah, Jinx probably would do that. Just goes invisible. Where she was sitting, you just occasionally hear a... She's drinking her coffee.
Tran, Reverie, do you have any opinions on this?
I'll always rule with the majority.
The authorities already weren't a fan of me. I don't think it'd be great to stoke their ire even more by kind of wandering off case. So, staying the course, at least for me, sounds like a good plan.
Okay, sure, whatever. But for this mission, I'm going to have to act like a little bit of a mercenary. So I just need to have a little bit of a guarantee that if shit hits the fan the way it might hit the fan, if I kind of neglect my job with the hags, I need to guarantee that one of you will have 500 gold diamond. That guarantee.
I'm sure we can find one. We've found more expensive things. I'm sure we could find a diamond. How hard could it be?
Your word?
I mean, I can't do anything with a diamond.
I did not say you had to. You have to. You do not. I understand that no one in our group really does the whole make alive thing very well. But as long as you have that diamond, I would assume that someone else could do a thing. So if when bad shit happens, we need a diamond. I am not paying for the diamond.
I can pay for the diamond. I had to check my money. I can pay for a diamond. It's fine.
Great. Then fine. That's fine. This is going to get really weird for a second. Baskin will take out the book and we'll jot down. I think Oberon's watching. I'll keep an eye on the companion. Close the book. Sure, it's going to say something, but we're not going to. It's easier to beg forgiveness than to ask permission in this occasion. But as I am a lizard of my word, I'm going to pull my eye out and be like, okay, look, little guy, little eye, you go follow a little mushroom dude. And I mean, if shit gets really bad, I guess just do nothing. Like, what are you really going to do? You're not. You're going to blink? I don't. Oh, I get it. You're going to lash them. That is funny, but no, you are not.
Amazing.
Okay. Are you telling your eye to fly away right now? Or are you just gonna? All right.
But go away, go hang out with the mushroom.
Okay. But you yourself are not going back to the mushroom.
No.
Okay. As you give your eye a command, and it unravels its bat wings and takes to the sky as it exits the watering hole. And you check in with it as you unfocus your eye that's still in your head and focus in with the one that is actively flying through the sky as you see below you the Western Star and the ocean above you, or in front of you, as still finds the little mushroom folk sitting right where you left it, as your eye flies down right next to it, and it, as it realizes something is there, shifts, and its eyes pop back out as it uncovers itself, and you can't hear anything about what it's saying, but you can see that it is clearly talking to the eyeball itself. As the eye just does not respond, as it cannot. It just floats there. Yep, bubbling up and down. As you see it finally just give up. It's talking to this thing that's not going to respond to it, and just kind of understand what's happening right now. Grab your eye, and then both of them together sink into the ground, and your vision goes black. As you come back to, and you are still in the watering hole. And you are out one eye.
Great. This was a great decision. I hope we're not doing anything like dangerous, like no combat or anything.
Yeah, monks don't need depth perception. It's fine.
Hey, it's actually pretty cool though, because I figured out I can do this thing, and I don't know, I guess a lot of lizards can do it, but like I can, and like stick his tongue out and be like, Jinx is over there. Like it's wild. I know exactly where Jinx is. This is crazy. I didn't realize that I could do that, but I guess I can kind of have blind sense with everything that is 10 feet around me.
That's awesome.
Jinx just
That is really
quickly backs up to beyond 10 feet.
Oh no, where has she gone?
And then from, thin air, you just hear, shh.
As you all are talking about your next moves, from the staircase, you hear some movement as a couple of figures start to descend from the rooms themselves. You see that there are 4 people that are coming down, and you recognize 2 of them collectively. One of them is the Goliath from last evening. The other is the half-elf rogue in the dark that helped them out along the way. There's also 2 women with them. One is very, very dark pale with really, really dark, straight black hair. She looks like she's wearing some sort of leather armor with a little bit of a darker robe behind it as well. And then there's another human woman with like really, really frizzy brown hair that comes out about to their shoulders, that is wearing a olive green robe and a kind of a pointier hat. Very prim, very proper looking wizard, as the 4 of them all come down and take a seat at one of the other booths in the room. As you can see them talking to each other, you've definitely noticed that the 2 that you were talking to or interacting with last evening do recognize, at least those of you who are there, or not asleep already, as you see them kind of looking over a little bit and kind of filling everybody in on what exactly is happening, a little bit more so than they might have already done so, as you did drop off drinks to their room. You do see actually one of them, the wizard with the green cloak, actually have 4 empty glasses that she brings back over and drops off at the bar and comes back over and sits down with the group again. Now they the room with you as well, as you do whatever you got to do.
Really is currently staring down at her bowl. Bast, you should probably apologize since you didn't get to last night, since he was out cold.
Oh yeah, no, look, if I would have known that he was out cold, yeah. Look, I do feel pretty bad about hitting him while he was unconscious. That is fair. For that, I will apologize. That was not super cool. It wasn't really my fault, and I can also acknowledge that it was that one. But my actions did put me in the situation that made that a possibility, and I do feel bad that I, kind of almost killed him.
Yeah, that probably would have been bad.
What was that?
That probably would have been bad if you
Yeah,
had
yeah,
killed
no, yeah,
him.
that would not have been ideal. I do not think this person would have been very tasty. But I mean, it was a bar fight. Bar fights happen. If he would not have fought me, he would have fought someone else. The bar fight was going to happen. It very luckily happened and no one died. So sorry for hitting someone who could not fight back. Whoops on me. Well, someone who could not fight back because they were already unconscious.
You did beat him though, which was just pretty cool. He's a lot bigger than you are.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Maybe I get a little bit defensive sometimes, but yes, it was pretty fucking cool.
But you should probably catch them before we leave.
Hey, I don't actually know your name, and I feel like it is very disrespectful, or at the very least, like insult to injury, to just call you a punching bag. But that's kind of how I've been thinking of you in my head for the last 12 hours, and that's probably not super cool. But hey, just wanted to say that was a pretty good scrap we had last night, and I sorry I hit you when you were like, we're already counting the dodos. You know, that was kind of a whoops on my end.
Did you get up and move, or are you just yelling out from your table?
Just hollering it from the table.
Sweet. As you do, they all four of them. Yeah, all four of them look over it, like turn around completely at your table over there. All eyes are on you right now. As you can see that the Goliath is getting already. He's getting a little heated because like, well, you're right. You did win, and you did go a little too far, but it also. Well, he doesn't actually know because he was knocked out. But the rogue speaks up actually before he can get any more aggravated, and says, "Okay, well, good fight. The magic again was a little bit skeptical, but Obi, you're fine. Calm down. Hey, Xerius, this is Obligard, that's Laya, and this is Circe. Welcome. Hey, good to meet you all again. Good fight last night. Obi, sit down. As you can see, this Goliath started to like get up. No. Silently just points at him. Takes a breath, and you can see this Goliath just start like taking some deep breaths, sitting in the chair. As the rogue keeps talking. We did finish those drinks that you both sent up. Thank you again. We appreciated those. Surprisingly accurate, but delightful nonetheless. And if this was it, this was it. Good fight. Great work. Glad we didn't kill each other because that almost happened to you. Yeah? Cool.
Yeah. That would have been messy. You all don't look like you belong here.
Yeah, well, we kind of got, well, it's not really my, and he gestures over to the others at the table who kind of look over at you all, and one of them pops up, the pale skin with the dark hair, says, yeah, we are from the mortal world. We brought here on a mission looking for somebody. And she looks over at the other wizard, who is just kind of quiet, eating some of the same stew that you are all eating. As they look down and look back up and say, yeah, sorry, we are looking for somebody, but we haven't been able to find them yet. But I'll be honest, I just know it's stupid. You shouldn't even be here anyway.
We've I mean, we're about to head out, but we've been a lot of places recently.
Well, the reality is I don't even know who I'm looking for. And I feel so stupid that I'm even here looking in the first place. I only knew them as a cat or something else. Whiskers. But it's just, I don't know even what. I didn't. Anyway, roll a persuasion check. Really?
$20.
Wonderful. Hold on, I accidentally deleted my tab real quick. So as they start to look over, there's a hint of sadness in their eyes, and they start telling a story. As a wizard tends to, in our plane, they can summon a familiar to work with them and to help them and to see for them and go on adventures with them. And I had one, and she was great, honestly, and helped so much. And we all were happy. But then I guess, got greedy. I found another thing that I wanted. I wanted two familiars. They'd be so useful. They'd have so much fun together. And I thought I could. I thought I was strong enough to have two, but by the time I cast the spell, it was gone. One of them was there, and the other, it just replaced. And I tried to summon another one, and another one, and another one, but it was a different thing. It was a different entity altogether. I could sure make it look like a cat, but it wasn't the same. And of course, the other. The pseudo dragon took. You can't. What was I thinking? Hoping that I could. It left, obviously. So they don't stick around forever. They are on their own trajectory. But we came here. We were looking, and we got stuck. Honestly, we gave up a while ago, but have been here for a little bit. This seems to be the place that has the most traffic, at least in the area, so we thought maybe. But so far, as we've learned, there are no cats here. Not really. So we're just here, trying to leave at this point, because it's confusing and weird here. I'll be honest about that. I've read a little bit about this place in my research, but I'll be honest, it'd be just different than I expected. But that's us. Hey, that's just trying to get home at this point.
Creatures, when they become familiars, they take on shapes for the world that you're in, so they wouldn't look like a cat here.
Yeah, we did figure that one out pretty quickly. So the reality is, I don't really even know who I'm looking for, what I'm looking for. I know their personality, but besides that, it's not on site anymore. So I just have to either hope that I can recognize them, or that they might recognize me and come say something. I don't know. I don't know. But we've been here for a little while, and at this point, it's just we're just trying to go home. We know time passes weird. We weren't planning on staying for very long, so we'll see what ends up happening when we actually do get back. But who knows?
Yeah, I think for those sitting next to her, there is just waves of coldness coming off of Ruli. It's difficult to tell, I think, what exactly that is. It's just very much like her magic, just the waves kind of rolling off of her. What would you do if you found her?
Well, tell her all of that, I guess, just the truth of what happened. Because I haven't been able to communicate at all. Once that bond was broken, it was off to the next one. And I don't know, my hubris got in the way, as it does sometimes. I really did think that I could have two of them. And as she says this, the woman next to her just looks at her like, what do you mean you thought? Like, the look you can all get is like, what do you mean you thought you could have two from it? What do you mean? No one could do that. But she doesn't say it out loud, but that's just like sideways glance. And I would hope that, well, we would see how she feels, and if she wants to come back, we would all, we were a little family. But I get it, it's been a while now. So things might have changed. I don't know. But this is what we've been up to for a little bit, so. She looks back down at her stew.
I think Ruli just sits there quietly for a bit.
Biscuit was a great cat. We're familiar, because they weren't always a cat, but that's the ones I wanted. So, but I would let them choose maybe what form they wanted to be in, if that's not more comfortable for them. I'm still honestly a little bit confused about how this all works, but they were just there to help us and be there with us, and it was nice. So that's it. But at this point, I doubt that's going to happen. We're just stuck, and my magic can't get us out. I've tried every day for a while now, so.
There's something going on, so nobody can get in or out currently. But we're working on fixing it. It'll hopefully be done soon.
Well, good luck. Let us know when you're done with that so we can leave. Because it is time to do that. So, and if you see anybody who answers to Biscuit around, let them know that Leia's looking for him. Well, I guess that's it from me. Good luck. I mean, I really wish that you succeed, because, yeah, wow, we gotta go. But good luck. And she keeps eating her stew.
I think at this point, Ruli has gotten very small in the booth.
As with the that part of the conversation, the whole other table has also kind of gotten quiet. They're busy eating their food, thinking about the situation that now you know that they have been in for at least since the realms merged. They have been here for that entire time, somewhere amongst the wilds. Whether or not they were trying to leave before then or after then is a little unclear. You would imagine after the realms merged themselves, as it has stopped them from leaving. But that's been a little bit of time at least. And you can see that they are all ready to not be here, at least. Their adventure has gone on for a few weeks too long, it feels like.
I think
yeah.
I think as there's this sort of awkward, tense silence for a little while, Jinx, whose coffee is starting to kick in and she's starting to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on around her now, uses prestidigitation to get her little cup of soup really hot and shivers and is like, oh, why'd it get cold in here? That's weird. Temperatures don't usually change in a tavern like that. Is somebody pulling a prank? She just starts like putting her hand over her eyes and like squinting, trying to look around the tavern, see who's getting up to mischief, completely oblivious to what's going on with Ruli.
Reverie actually kind of glances around a little bit and then subtly scoots a little bit closer to Ruli and kind of quietly goes, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Still a lot on my mind.
All right. He goes back to eating, but he doesn't move too much further away, even though he is not a big fan of the cold.
Baskin is going to go up to the bar and gonna go to the bartender and go, hey, this is going to be a really weird drink, but I just need you to like ask less questions than you want to ask and just go ahead and do it for me, okay?
Yeah.
All right, I want a little glass, like shot glass thing, yeah?
Yeah.
And I want like a good pinch of oats in the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then I want you to take a little bit of syrup, like maple syrup or something, just a little bit of that.
Yeah, okay.
And then I want you to fill the rest of that up with the cheapest whiskey that you have in the house.
All right. Let me go down here.
Great. And do that like 5 more times.
You got it.
4 more. Yeah.
And he sets up a round of these drinks.
Baskin will walk over to the sad, quiet table. We'll drop them down on the table and go, okay, great. It seems like we're all kind of going through some shit right now, and I think we should really not be okay later. Because I'm pretty stressed out right now, and I'm pretty sure we're all kind of dealing with our own bullshit. But this is going to be way more unpleasant in the moment than whatever it is that we're doing. So if anyone wants a drink, I think that was probably a good time for us to have a little moment.
And without changing faces at all, the wizard immediately grabs a cup and just holds it.
Great.
The rogue also sighs and grabs one. Begrudgingly, the Goliath also just like looks at you, but also does grab it. As so does the other woman. They're all down.
Great. It is nice to here's to getting to fight another day.
Yeah. You too. And there's the Goliath. They all drink with you.
I think Baskin starts to cough and retch.
Oh yeah. No, it's
For
awful.
a little while, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad.
The Goliath also gives a little bit of a cough. The rogue takes it fine. the warlock woman, the white skin with the dark hair, she is also having a bad time. But the wizard takes it like nothing.
Oh, The only
She just
thing
doesn't
that
even
scares-
really. She just puts it back down on the table.
The only thing that scares me more than that is the people who drink that and don't flinch. Okay, great. I hope this was a good note for us to close on. Goodbye, apparent friends. Let me know if you ever want to get in contact with the hag.
As you say that, all their faces go like, "What? No!" Like, we've only heard bad things, and that's their whole, like, "What? Who are we talking to?" And they just kind of don't respond, but give you that kind of look vibe. As you go back to your table. Whatever you want to do next, you are still at the Western Star. It's the early hours of the morning. What are you up to?
I mean, what do we know like about what time a tattoo shop would open?
Yeah, so as you were even walking into the Western Star, you might have even seen Kyle starting to set up their shop. So yeah, they said to come by in the morning, and they'd set you up with whatever you wanted to do. You did make 2 appointments, so he's ready for at least 2 of you. If there's a third one that wants to jump in there, make it work. But yeah, whenever you are ready to go over there, Kyle's ready for you.
I'm going to go. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm going to go do what I do when I am very stressed out and worried about how I am probably going to die pretty soon. So I'm going to go get a tattoo. It's a healthy coping mechanism. It's about control, you know.
It's a good idea. You can only do one at a time, so go ahead and go, and I'll catch up.
I think. Can Bask make an insight check to figure out why?
Yes, you
why
may.
this is?
Absolutely.
I mean, Zan is also real curious. All right.
And Rule, if you would like to contest this as well and not have to tell him, you can make a deception check.
What is Bash trying to figure out?
What you meant, like, what's your main MO when you said, actually, you go on without me? Because the plan was yesterday that you were going to go together. And now the plan has all of a sudden changed. So I think that's trying to figure that. He rolled a 5 of those, so it's probably not.
Oh, I can't
probably
roll that
super
low.
great. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
roll
that's not
anywhere
even
near that
possible.
low.
All right. Yeah,
Don't
Baskin,
you say that. Don't say that.
the plan's changed for whatever reason.
Can I make that roll to see if I notice that just Brulee's being a little bit off? Because Raven is very curious what's going on with Brulee, and Jinx is very oblivious to everything around her half the time. So
Okay.
I want to see
Yeah.
if she actually notices or not.
Definitely. Go and roll it.
Hey, nat 20, 25.
Woo! All right, Ruli, go ahead and roll your dice now. Whoa. Whoa, that's
So
close. But yeah, Jinx is still a little bit more picking some stuff up.
Okay. So after she says that to Baskin, and there's no other conversation there, Jinx will look over at Ruli and go, I might be going out on a limb on this, but you seem a little off. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just a busy day. We have a lot ahead of us, and like Bask said, we might die. We don't know what's going to happen. Just a lot to think about. That's all.
She kind of squints her eyes a little bit and goes, "That's like our everyday, though." Is there anything you want to talk about or get distracted from? I'm really good at distractions.
I think she involuntarily glances towards the other table for a moment.
Wait a minute. Did one of them insult you? Were they rude? I will go blow their legs off.
No, if anything, we were rude to them.
Oh, okay.
We passed through its stool at one of them.
Well, I mean,
Not exactly
yeah,
manners.
but we made up with them over that. So, yeah. Okay, well, if you need me to like distract you from something, or if you need to talk, or if you just want me to like hold space for you, I can do that.
I appreciate it.
I can't hold a lot of space because I'm tiny, but I'll do what I can.
I appreciate it. You're a good friend.
Aw, thanks. I try. Do you mind if I ride on your shoulder then? I can just hang out with you.
Sure.
And Jinx will just fly over. I think she's abandoned her breakfast, but she still has the pitcher plant that she's sipping from.
Perfect. As Jinx and Bruley are hanging out, Baskin seems to be going to get a tattoo. Dram and Reverie, what are you two up to?
Dram will go with Baskin. Dram is so socially awkward that Baskin was like, "Hey, want to leave?" And Dram was already up out of the seat, almost to the door.
Fair enough. Reverie, what about you?
Reverie's actually going to stick with Ruli and Jinx for now.
All right. As Dram and Baskin, you get up and you head over to the tattoo place. As you exit out of the watering hole, it is kind of muggy outside. The sky is not clear anymore. It's got definitely some clouds in it. It looks kind of like it's got some fog or haze in the sky around. A little bit more dreary than it was this morning, Baskin, when you were outside a little bit earlier. Now it is more... dreary is exactly the word I think that would fit this weather that we're seeing. As the two of you head over to Kyle's little tattoo place, he has his tent set up and he has an open sign ready and he is sitting there. The chair is empty. As Baskin and Dram, you walk in and Kyle excitedly says, "Well, yeah, you're back. Okay. Yeah. So I have a perfect thing for you." He points at you, Baskin. "I don't have anything planned for you, but we could definitely get something going on. Who's first?"
Oh yeah, I got some thoughts, but let's
Okay,
let's
wait.
do this. So I'm thinking about that, and I think we can kind of like fade to black on the details.
You all talk about tattoos for a little while, about the details and what it's going to look like, as he gets to work with yours. And he starts with you first as Dram. What's Dram thinking about? Is Dram trying to get a tattoo today?
Yeah, sure. Dram will get a tattoo.
Okay.
If only to stick around here longer and avoid whatever was going on back there.
All right. So as Kyle starts working on Baskin's, he asks you to kind of brainstorm what kind of thing you're thinking as far as if you want just a picture or if you want some sort of magic attribute to it, similar to the one that Baskin is getting, or one of these other ones, and he kind of gives you the rundown of a lot of the different things that you could potentially get. As we leave you there for a little bit and we go back onto the inside with Ruli, Reverie, and Jinx, as the three of you are still inside the watering hole. You have the other table over here who've gotten pretty quiet. They've taken the shot though, and they are a little bit more lively, a little bit more awake as they have started to, yes, you're right, we're here stuck, but it's still kind of fun, honestly. We're having a good time still. It's been a long time, but it's still a good time. And they are waking up a little bit more in the morning as you are in the room with them at the watering hole.
Yeah, I think Ruli stays quiet for a while, probably like 10 or 15 minutes, just staring down into her food, not eating it, just staring down into it, leg bouncing a little bit. She seems very much on edge and lost in her thoughts.
After a few minutes of that, because Jinx is just sitting on her shoulder, she looks down at the soup and goes, "Yeah, I didn't like the soup that much either. It's like who has soup for breakfast? That's weird, right?
It's kind of strange, isn't it? I think it's left over from last night."
Gross.
Jinx, can you stay here with Reverie for a moment?
Sure. Just, holler if you need me.
Yeah. And she looks up. She's not crying, but there are tears in her eyes. She takes a deep breath and stands up and walks over to the other table, and just hugs the wizard.
As you do, you see them tighten up very briefly, and then you feel them just relax and wrap their arms around you as well, as you feel like they, without having to say anything, just with that alone, like, I think they know what's happening now, from everything that you've just heard and talked about. It's not crystal clear, but the assumption is there currently, at least from what you can feel right now, as she just doesn't say anything else, but is now more relaxed, returning your hug.
Really is crying at this point.
Oh yeah, she's
Like,
absolutely
full on
like,
crying.
It is it's a sob mess right now, as you all, yeah, and everyone at the table is just like,
Yeah, after a minute, she pulls back. I didn't know what happened.
and she says, it's you. I don't. And she gives you another hug.
I didn't know what happened. I just woke up back here alone.
I tried to reach out and to explain, and I just didn't think that it would be a problem in the first place. I didn't know that it would just pick. I mean, I knew it was a folly with the other thing anyway, but I'm sorry. As she gives you another hug. Releases you again. And this is you. This is you. What?
Yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way, but what are you actually? Because you're clearly not a cat.
Yeah, I'm a Selkie.
Oh.
Seals just aren't very good forms for your world. There's too much land.
No.
But
Wow. If I'd have known that. Would you prefer to be a seal if you... Oh, that's getting ahead. It's wonderful. Wait. That's probably not your name, is it?
yeah, Ruli.
Oh. Ruli. Leah. It is great to meet you. And your home is so fun, and interesting.
I'm not from here. I'm from Sylvanthi. It's mostly water, so I don't know that you would like it very much. But
Yeah, we thought about going over there, but we thought we moved to a couple other areas. And were you there, or were you here the whole time?
I was there for a while, under the ocean, and then we've been trying to solve why everyone's stuck here. So we've been traveling around a bit for that. But yeah, I've been kind of all over at this point.
You leave one group and you're off on another mission to go save people again. Of course you are.
An adventurer now.
An
Not-
adventure always. Wow. That's impressive, honestly. I mean, we were off doing, our own shenanigans, but you're off trying to save things and change things here. That's really something. I mean, we would all, I don't mean to be forward, but if you did want to come back, we all do miss you a lot. But we all see that you have very clearly some stuff going on here that I wouldn't want to take you away from. Honestly, I misunderstood, I think, about what a familiar meant and was, at least of the Fae variety.
When a wizard does their spell, it sounds a call, I guess. Somebody answers it. That's what I did.
Fascinating. Well, and as you look over at the other faces at this table, everyone is invested in this conversation. And they're all, it maybe started as they were not trying to listen, but they can't not at this point, as they all look over and they, see that they all are nodding. They're all kind of agreeing that, like, yeah, we did miss you. It did suck, actually, when you just weren't there one morning. And you see that Orgley, who's the big Goliath, speaks up, and he says, yeah, we gave her a hard time for a while, actually. We had fun, you and me. You'd always follow along with me, and that little dragon thing could never keep up. You got it. Yeah. It'd be fun, though. But you're doing things, and that's nice. We did miss you, though. It's good to meet you. Orgley. And he waves his hand as they all reintroduce themselves, as Sarissa reintroduced herself. And you obviously recognize her as the sad woman who you didn't really know too much about, but she was watching you nonetheless. And Xerius, the rogue, who you also kind of spent some time with, reintroduced himself to you as well. As you all talk a little bit about what they've been up to and the missions that they went on, and how that pseudo dragon was useful in some ways, but also couldn't quite keep up with their momentum the same way that you did. They went through a couple of different familiars. It summoned a few others, and it was never the right one. And always something was different every time. So here they are.
At the end of that conversation, I think she looks around at everyone and takes a deep breath. I'm not a familiar anymore. I'm done with that, but I am an adventurer. I have to finish the quest I'm on currently, but you all can't leave before then anyways, but there's a spot for me.
Well, there is a spot for you here as well. Not as a familiar, even. If you want to come out as you are, we would love to hang out with you. But the choice is obviously yours. Now that we've found you, I can send messages to you whenever I want. If you're okay with that, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait here. Let me finish this quest with the group that I'm with currently, and I'll come back.
We don't have that much of a choice, but we won't go anywhere. We'll be here. Good luck. And she gives you another hug.
I return the hug and then I'll walk back over to our table. Sit there for a moment with Reverie and Jinx, just quietly, again, lost in thought.
During the conversation that was happening there, I think Jinx was just quietly whispering commentary to Reverie about the whole thing. Like, when did that happen? Oh, they gave her a hard time. That's rude. And then finally ending with the which is like, I'm done being familiar. Like, she's way better as not a cat anyways. Who likes cats? They try to eat berries and sprites. And then like when really comes over, she tries to act like she wasn't listening in. She's like, oh hey, how did it go? That seemed like a good conversation that I wasn't listening to.
Reverie actually looked a little bit angry during at least the beginning of that conversation. Seemed to ease off there towards the end, at least. But just almost completely ignoring Jinx the whole time.
I mean, to be honest, that's probably wise.
Yeah,
It's just white noise.
It went well. They're old friends. I was never really sure what happened, but now I know. And I think that may be what I do after this.
Well, I'm glad you're able to find old friends, and it sounds like I mean, not that I was listening. I just overheard the last part, of course, but it sounds like you got some closure, so that's always good.
Yeah, no matter what happens, at least I know now what actually happened, which was worth something. I am late for a tattoo appointment. I should go do that.
All right. Have fun with, the whole needle thing.
Are you scared of needles?
I'm 6 inches tall. Needles terrify me.
I had not thought of that.
I mean, that's fair. Valid.
Yep. Needles and cats. Those are the two big fears.
As really you get up and head back outside. And as you head outside, it is, well, you never saw it as dreary in the first place, but Baskin and Dram, as you are sitting in Kyle's tent, the sky starts to clear up and it no longer is as dreary as it used to be. The fog has lifted, the clouds seem to be rolling away, and it is once again getting bright and nice in the early morning here at the Western Star. As really you head over to the tent and see Baskin in the middle-ish of getting a tattoo, as Kyle looks over and acknowledges you. Oh yeah, I got something planned for you also. Yeah, take a seat. I think I got him next, and then we'll be able to wrap all three of you up pretty quick, I think.
Really looking at Basque's tattoo, like, is it a snail?
It's it's not a snail. It is not. It is a piece in work. Look, we don't judge things until they're finished. Okay, don't make him nervous.
Yeah,
the last thing
you're right.
the last thing I want is for him to be like, oh shit, it looks like a snail. Let me fucking change it, and then it's something like super fucking no.
No, she's right. This does look like a snail.
No, I did not. I specifically said not a snail. Oh man.
No, don't worry. No, that's part of the process. They all start as snails, and then they do their own It's fine. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It'll look great.
Mm,
It's just the baseline pattern, man. It's fine. As he just keeps like
Well,
stabbing
great.
you.
great.
I'm excited to see it.
Wait, does this look like a snail starting out because snails are basically the golden ratio?
Yeah.
I love that.
And we are going to come back and see what those funnel tattoos look like when we come back from our break right now, which I think we're going to go do.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The Zoom got moved around a bit.
Oh, it did a little bit.
Getting that fixed now. There we go.
All right, there we go. That's what it should be. Perfect. Welcome back. So where we just left off, we had a bit of an intense conversation in the watering hole between some old friends, as a few others of you and Ruby met up with you, Baskin and Dram, a little bit later on here at Kyle's tattoo shop, as you all have now, over the past couple of hours that you've now been hanging out here at Kyle's, sitting. He's offered you water, he's offered you some snacks, you've been telling stories for the past couple of hours as he has finished up all 3 of your tattoos. Baskin, we're going to start with you. Tell us, what does your tattoo look like as Kyle's done with it?
So it's it is a large tattoo, as some might say. It is up to the very base of his skull, over the entirety of his back, and a little bit on the back of his arms and the back of his thighs. And it's kind of a like a tableau style, like pretty sharp contrasting movements, kind of like what you'd see in an ukiyo-e. And it is the picture, it is a picture of a giant alligator just laying with its mouth open, and the animals of the area around it. And it's done in a lot of deep greens and purples and dark blues. And I think off in the corner, like right around the shoulder blade, is a small snail.
Perfect. Dram, what does your tattoo look like?
Dram hasn't had much time to think about his tattoo, so I think it's just
a flash piece.
Yeah, which one of the $5 ones you got on the wall over there? I'll take whatever.
I'm not sure what passes for the moon in the Fey realm.
There's a lot of moons here. There's crescent moons, there's full moons. Moon means a lot of things to a lot of different people here. So there's a lot of different variations on that if you want to go a moon route, for sure.
One of the moons, whichever one is most relevant to Dram, it's just a moon and then just trapped in a block of ice.
Okay, a block of ice with a frozen moon in the center of it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Ruli, what does yours look like?
Yeah, hers is an absorbing tattoo that grants fire resistance. So across her back, it is a swirl of flames, but they're swirling and flowing like the currents in the ocean, like what you would see in Savanthi.
Wonderful.
It's
That's
very
excellent.
stylistic, yeah.
Oh, Kyle is a killer at details. Oh yeah, it's like it looks like the waves might be actively moving on your back, but as you really start to look at him, they can't be. It's just a tattoo, right? But it always makes you look again. As you are all done with your tattoos, as you leave Kyle's shop, he bids you farewell. Come back another time and let everyone else know. Like, I got him. If they want something, Kyle's here. As he lets you leave, as you all head back to the watering hole where Revelry and Jinx, your friends have been gone for a couple of hours, actually. What have you been up to?
Mischief. So having to sit around and wait a couple of hours, Jinx of course gets bored and starts playing small little pranks on the guests, like going invisible, and then like if somebody's cup is close to the edge of the table, just pushing it off like a cat almost, but while invisible, or moving somebody's chair a little bit as they go to sit down, all while invisible. So just causing tiny, unfortunate little incidents to happen to people. And trying really hard not to giggle loud enough to be heard.
Well, there are a lot of instances as the watering hole starts to ramp up over the next couple of hours. A lot more folks start to come in. And both you and Revelry notice as you are just kind of hanging out there, especially you as you're invisible, that there are new folks here for sure. There's people that look like they are wearing clothes that you have never seen before, that look like they are full of plants, but maybe it's fur, but maybe it's other fabrics. Maybe it's something and it's shimmering. It is beautiful. There's a lot of weird clothing here today, more than you've seen around Nymphador for sure. But as you're invisible, everyone's fair game. You know, it doesn't really matter fancy clothes or not. You're taking chairs away. Revelry, what are you up to?
Reverie has been trying to stay unassociated with Jinx and her hijinks.
No, you haven't seen hijinks yet. She hasn't gotten into any
that's
special
fair
leap yet.
That's fair. He might have actually gotten involved with that. He could use some chill. He's probably off to himself sketching unless he's found a game of poker or something he could get involved in.
No games of poker this early in the day yet, but
Alas,
And
probably
you
just
keep-
watching people.
yeah, keep an eye out.
Because people are interesting.
People are
I mean-
interested. All right, as the two of you hang out, causing mischief and making doodles and checking out the scene, within a couple of hours, your friends come back in, all with their new tattoos. See you all at the booth that you have still been just chilling at for the most part, as you all meet back up to do whatever it is you're going to do next. You have tattoos. You have the whole day ahead of you. Really, it's about midday right about now. Maybe a little bit later than that, but what do you want to do now?
We should probably try to actually find Big G. I feel like we've been wandering a lot of places. We've been doing a lot of other things. We should probably actually do it now. Do we have any clues? I say, looking around at the group.
Do we have any more clues? I was just trying to remember.
I think we do.
So you know that from Garvin, that Big G is where the realms meet, is what he said. That is the quote from Garvin. Where the realms meet, you will find Garvin. And with that in mind, he pointed in the general direction of where you currently are, just about. But you were up in an island very far away in the sky, right? So you are within the general area that Garvin gestured to from very, very far away in the sky. But as far as any more people that have met Big G or even know that name, you haven't seen anybody else. So if you're looking for any more direction, you got to find somebody else that might know something about a Big G. You haven't found anybody else so far in any realm that you've been in or talked to yet. But where the realms meet is the quote that Garvin has given.
I don't
Uh,
suppose there's been any gossip or anything at the inn or where we are, because I mean, Reverie thinks people are
Yeah.
interesting, but he also thinks knows they talk.
Yeah, as you listen, go ahead and roll a perception check, and you can do this as well, Jinx. Just as you listen around and see what's going on. Listening for any notes about a Big G or
Got a 4.
anybody else. Yeah, Jinx, you're distracted. There's a lot of mischief happening, and it's pretty fun.
That's 16.
Reverie, yeah, as you start
Yeah.
listening in, you're pretty confident that you're definitely not hearing this term. Nobody's talking about a Big G at all inside of here. There's a lot of different figures here. There's some gnomes that you've seen come in, different gnomes than you saw last evening. It looks to me there's another dryad that's here that just has walked into the door. There's a lot of hodgepodge of different folks here, but nobody's talking about any sort of Big G at least in the room that you're in right now.
Do we just start asking around? What's the best plan? Does anybody have any sources?
I mean, I could. I mean, maybe. I'm not. Not really sure. I could. I could like. I don't know. I could go punch someone and ask.
Everybody make a history check for me.
That's a little better. 19.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep us out of a bar fight again.
All right. Okay.
Oh
We're
yeah,
getting
not my
some good
strong
ones.
suit.
Yeah, really sorry, bummer. Revelry also,
Yeah,
not so
my
hot.
strong-
But Jinx, and especially Baskin and Fran, you start to realize this also, and it's fitting, I think, that you start to notice and realize more than anybody else. As Dram, you oversaw when you first, before you even came into the Western Star yourself, you looked over the horizon and you were the first to see from the hill above the Western Star that you could see all 6 different realms. And you could see this morning, Baskin, as you looked out over the ocean, that all of these different waters existed in the ocean themselves. You could see that there were different walls. You've seen these walls before, as you saw between the wall of Elasidir and Nymphindor, as you saw between the wall of Nymphindor and Ahib, that there are these shimmering walls in between these realms that are separating them from one another. And as they're all now touching, Baskin, you saw this morning that all of those different walls converged in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Oh man, earlier, a little bit earlier this morning when I was kind of out and about, I thought it felt like really sticky, and I was like, man, this is really nice. This reminds me of home. But I thought it, and I didn't really say it, and now I understand why I thought it. It was because it was home. I think maybe we are like at the place where like all of the shatter point,
Now, not quite here at the Western Star, but in the water, a little further ways out, right?
I mean, we're very close. Like we should maybe go there
In the
or see if
ocean?
anyone knows what's over there.
That would make this a lot easier.
Cool.
I don't think we have any other plans. Maybe we should go check that out.
All right. As you all decide to go check out the water, as you all get up and leave the Western Star, leave your old and new friends, you see that the Western Star is alive. There's a lot of people here. As you go outside, it is bright, it is sunny, it is kind of warm and hot, a little bit sticky, but you can get to the water. And about the time that you start to walk up to the Nymphindorian coast, once again, there is a movement in the water as there is this massive creature that emerges, splashes water all over the coast themselves, and a few of you recognize this. Really, you would recognize not specifically this individual, but this type of creature as a leviathan that is now emerged from the water and plopped half of its body in the water and out of the water as it puts its head back down and opens its mouth again as this bright blue crystal rolls out and pops as there are another 7 people that of various shapes and sizes walk out and head into the city of the Western Star. As this Leviathan looks over at all of you, and in your heads again, you hear, "Oh, you're back. Well, do you know where you're going now?" And the rest of you are confused, but Baskin, you know that they are talking to you when they say this. You're like, I've never seen anything. I've never met this thing before.
Oh yeah, this thing and I we go way back like a whole like 5 hours. But are we? I'm assuming you guys can like hear the fish thoughts too. Like the
Yes.
They can hear me. Yes.
Oh, thank
Is it-
goodness. I thought I was hearing things.
Yeah.
both
so
can be true.
As it
We're-
turns its head towards you, and you can feel this breath come out of its nostrils, just salty and fresh and sticky and nice to Ruli, but maybe not to the rest of you. As you all hear in your head, "Hi, I'm Kikalaki. I can bring you places if you want to go places, but I'm on a kind of a schedule, so." And they just open up their mouth. "Let me know."
we do need to go places. So we're looking for the location where all of the realms currently meet, but we're also looking for someone named Big G. Have you ever heard of anybody named Big G? We don't know who they are, what they look like, or anything like that, but we really need to find them.
As you say that, they close their mouth and they just look at you. "Big G? Yeah, I love that guy. We go way back. Why are you looking for him?"
A friend of his sent us.
"Wow, okay. That's a weird request. I haven't gotten that one yet, but yeah, I mean,
Well, we are weird people. We've been told that a lot.
I'll be honest, I've been moving folks around for the past, I don't know, since I've been able to at this point. This is pretty fun if you ask me, but you're not the weirdest folks I've seen." And you can see it's not, again, moving its mouth at all, but it's kind of emoting with its eyebrows and face. As
Jinx seems
yeah.
rather disappointed by that last comment. That we're not the weirdest that they've ever seen.
Well, as far as land things go, I don't know. All the land things are weird. The ocean's way better, but whatever.
Agreed.
Oh, you too. Nice. Well, I guess I'm heading that way. Anyway, I could bring you at least part of the way.
Can you tell us where specifically they are?
Oh yeah, they're over in the where everything is all put together over there. They're in the middle. You know,
Okay.
you'll see it. Do you want to? Here, hop in, and they open up their mouth, and it is an enormous mouth, and the teeth themselves are taller than you, Dram, and they are each individual tooth is massive in this creature's mouth as it invites you to step in.
Really, without hesitation, jumps in.
Yeah, sure, this seems fine.
Yeah, Jinx cautiously follows.
Yeah, Reverie also on the cautious end of the spectrum.
I guess we're really doing this.
All right, as you all jump in, the Leviathan's mouth closes as the last piece of light that you see vanishes, as you are taken by darkness, as you now feel movement, and can no longer see exactly what is going on around you, as you hear the voice in your head come back, as you are kind of jostled. This thing is clearly moving backwards, you can imagine, as you get pushed forward and back, as you hear the voice again say, "Sorry about that. Here, this will help. Hold your breath real quick," and you just start to see this blue shimmering orb start to emerge around you all as you take a big gasp of air real fast, as the orb finishes creating itself and does a quick flash. And all of a sudden you can see through the inside of this mouth. The orb itself is like a a visual pathway to the outside as you are seeing the waters of Nymphindor pass around you from inside of the mouth of this Leviathan. As you start to move into the ocean, you can see that the coast of Nymphindor, for those of you really specifically who has seen the coast of Sylvanthi, this coast looks pretty different in a lot of ways. Sylvanthi's coast has a lot of bright, colorful coral reefs. It has a lot of anemones. It has a lot of fish. It has a lot of life that's happening over there. Here in the Nymphindorian coast, it is a lot more grasses and tall, lanky plants, reeds. There's some fish in here, but they're slightly more dull. They're not as vibrant as a lot of the Sylvanthi fish are. Everyone roll me a perception check as you start moving through.
Everything's so bland here.
Hey, I got a 10.
Nice. Okay. All right, a 10, a 7, a 20, and a 4. Perfect. As you all are, it's
I got a 12, but that's not better than the 10.
Yeah,
so-
okay, no, I missed the 12, but the 12 is still, yeah. The Leviathan is very clearly like serpentine swimming through this water right now, kicking up a lot of the dirt and the muck, and it makes it a little bit tough to see what's truly further out there. But Dram, you do notice out in the center, a little bit further out of the muck itself, seems to be a larger figure swimming. One that, with a 20, I'll give you that you've seen before at least in the forests of Elassidir that came out of the river. As you see past the muck is an eelhound that is kind of giving you a little bit of an eye, as it does not engage with the Leviathan, but it does have its eye on you currently. As all of you keep moving through, there's in this coast here a lot of again, smaller fish. There's some sharks as you get a little bit further out. The coast starts to drop as you start to lose part of the mucky depths of the realm of Nymphindor itself, as you end up going into more open ocean. And by now it's only been a couple of minutes, about 5, maybe 10 minutes, as you started to move out from the coast itself. As you hear in your thoughts, okay, so do you want me to put you just directly over where he would be, or send you down so you could head over there yourself? Where are you going to go see Big G for, by the way?
Oh, we just want to talk. Yeah, we have a lot to catch up on, and somebody sent their regards, so we got to deliver those because we said we would. Stuff like that.
Well, since you're going down there anyway, make sure to tell him that Kikalaki says hi. We haven't talked in a little bit, but I have an idea about what's going on. But you leave me out of it. Just say my regards. Would be appreciated. So, do you want me to drop you off above, or do you want to head at it from here? What is your plan? Do it if you breathe water. Also, by the way.
I was actually gonna bring that up. That might be a problem.
Yeah,
I
seconding
can-
that motion.
I can. Oh, sorry. Didn't think about that.
I didn't either until we got here, which is my bad.
I mean, I'm cool.
Well, for those of you, if you're gonna go see Big G, actually, if you could deliver him this for me. I have something that needs to go down there, but I can also give you a little help if that's required, and let you breathe underwater. Obviously, it's the thing I'm talking about because that's what I brought up. But again, my question is from above or from, do you want me to let you off here? I could cross a realm, or we could drop you off in Nymphindor, and as you start to get a little bit more of a sense of what's around you, you haven't dove down. You've just been going straight across. The shortest way between point A and point B is a straight line, and that seems to be the pathway that this Leviathan is traveling. As you are seemingly getting closer to the edge of the realm of Nymphador. So they are asking, really, do you want to pass through the realm and get dropped off in a different realm, or stay here? So the way that this realistically would work, right, is there is a singular point. And from what you've heard, and Kikalaki kind of tells you a little bit more about this too, just like absent-mindedly, there is a singular point, or a singular cavern at least, where Big G does exist. That's been their home for as long as Kikalaki can remember, at least. And from there are the different aspects of each realm. So he is directly in the center of all of them. So really, which realm you want to be dropped off in, if you want to stay in Nymphador or go to a different one, that is what Kikalaki is curious about right now.
If we could do the Sylvanthi one, I would be more familiar with those waters at least.
Okay, we could definitely do that, yeah. As you keep heading forward and pass through the realm of Nymphador into the realm of Sylvanthi. And with that, as we enter the realm of Sylvanthi, where's my Sylvanthi button? I need everybody to make a charisma saving throw for me.
Including me.
You can roll so with advantage as you go into the realm of Sylvanthi.
And myself as well.
Oh yes, and Reverie as well.
Okay,
you
good.
as well get advantage on this. My mistake.
Does this have anything to do with being frightened?
It does not have anything to do with being frightened.
Okay.
Oh, 22.
Okay.
Sweet. 17.
All right. Awesome. So that is a 15, a 14, a 17, a 21, and a 15. Awesome. You are all passing. As this place is gorgeous, as soon as you pass through the shimmering veil that stands between Nymphador and Sylvanthi, you travel from this kind of murky-ish water. There's definitely dirt still in here. It's not the clearest thing you've ever seen. And as soon as you travel through that realm, it becomes crystal clear, beautiful salt water. There is brightness coming from above you, down beneath you at the bottom, at least for the parts that you can see. There are beautiful, vibrant colors of coral reefs, of anemones, of fish, of crabs, of eels, of horses, of other different animals that are swimming and manifesting themselves and disappearing and vanishing and appearing somewhere else. And it is a menagerie of life that is happening here in the bottom of the coast of Sylvanthi. And as you travel through the realm itself, you feel that the realm pulls your consciousness. It makes you realize how beautiful this realm is, how breathtaking everything is around you. But you know that you have a mission to accomplish, and you are able to, while admire the beauty that exists, shake off the effect of the realm of Sylvanthi, as you all keep your wits about you and are not enamored with your scenery, as you all continue on. As Kikalaki turns and you hear the voice in your head, okay, oh well, right about here should be good then. Whenever you're ready, I will pop the bubble. And they open their mouth and water just starts to come in, but you are protected in this bubble right now, as you are still all dry, but their mouth is open. They're kind of at the top of the ocean itself. So as the bubble starts to emerge, you are in their open mouth, open maw, as your half of the bubble is in the air and half of it is in the water. As you hear another voice and see it right in front of each of you, a little blue sparkle elaborate and splash into you as Kikalaki turns, and in your heads you all hear, well, even if you didn't need it, you have it anyway. Tell Big G I said hi. Drop him off this, and a package, a little box floats to the surface that looks like it came out of somewhere that Kikalaki had, as someone's going to pick it up. Who's going to grab it?
I will.
Okay. As you have the box. And you all now have water breathing cast on you, so you can breathe underwater for the next 24 hours, regardless of which form you are in, as the bubble bursts around you. Kikilaki asks first, are you ready?
I will pull the hood of my seal skin up over, become a seal.
Okay.
Do seal
Yeah, but
noises.
everyone, y'all need to give me like a little bit of room, okay? Like, I know you're like, oh, Bask doesn't take up very much space, but really here I need like swim away.
All right, well, good luck. As the bubble bursts around you and water comes in as this Leviathan backs up, and you see them in the distance as the water immerses you and you sink into the nice, warm ocean water of Sylvanthe. It is not cold. It is not uncomfortable here. It is perfect swimming conditions as you all can breathe. As you see your Leviathan friend start swimming off towards wherever it is they were heading next. You are in the waters of Sylvanthe. As you look around you, you see again all of these multicolored reefs and fish, and there's some otters swimming around. Some turtles swim by with iridescent shells, leaving some shimmering wakes behind them. There are some fish that are teleporting, going from one place to the next in bright big schools. What do you want to do now?
Yeah, Ruli is swimming around, following the currents of magic that are here, but just for everyone else just zipping around. And then probably just all of a sudden turning hard and barreling through one of those schools of fish, looking for a quick bite.
Yeah. And as you do, this school turns and blinks away from you. And yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. And anybody who wants to fight this school of blinkfish,
Hell yeah.
can absolutely join us in this initiative fight.
I
roll
just
it.
wanted food.
Well, you got a school of blinkfish that you just swam through. And
Well, I was going to do an otter, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't do that on stream. So I'll just do it.
well, you got a school of blinkfish now.
Oh, I'm going to have to drop my form and actually fight. I should get the stats up for this.
As a reminder, Baskine's got an advantage, Dram's got 2, Ruli's got 2, and Andy, you have 1 as well.
Oh, awesome.
And
Excellent.
I'm going to use Rakish Audacity to add 3 to my initiative roll.
Sweet. All right. So, the school of blinkfish exists here as we have some advantage going, or some initiative going on. Yeah, Baskin, you see that Ruli has started to make a dive for these fish. What do you want to do?
How much space is around me?
You got oceans of space. There is between you and the school of fish. The school of fish is about 60 feet out from you, and Ruli's just beeline and straight that way. This school of fish looks to be about medium size. There's a few of them, but not too many right now.
Well, does it really look like she's having a good time?
She very much looks like she's happy to be back in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Bask will will use his reaction to hold a lightning breath if it looks like it's necessary. Otherwise, Bask is just gonna chill.
Okay. All right. Really, as you start diving towards these blinkfish, they are going to teleport away from you. As all of them collectively teleport within, they go about 30 feet from where you were, and then they all turn and start swimming in your direction, as they are now turning on the offensive, at least for this quick second. As Reverie, you're up.
You said they're headed towards Ruli now, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
So like Ruli was heading towards them, but they blinked and like ended up kind of behind. So now they're closer to where you all are, but they have put themselves behind where Ruli is.
Oh, and the rest of us are in a nice little group, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ooh. How well a bow and arrow work as usual underwater.
Whoa,
Gotta use
so-
melee weapons.
Yeah. So we
Yep.
are underwater. We are doing underwater combat. Projectiles probably not going to be
Yep,
the play here.
That's what I figured.
And yes, if you are doing a melee weapon, unless it is a magical weapon, it is rolled at disadvantage as well. So do keep that in mind. Now, if you're using, none of you picked up the magical arrows, so never mind about that. If you're using, actually, you have one magical arrow. If you're using that, that would be fine. But you did not pick up the Fletcher, so.
Alas. You said they're about 30 feet away.
Yep.
And this would be difficult terrain, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Underwater.
Well, more or less. If you're difficult terrain for what? As far as impacting movement goes. So yeah, you have a swim speed of, if your standard swim speed is 30, I just did the calculation for this. Technically, it's not going to take you that long. You have 24-hour water breathing anyway, but your speed is going to be nerfed. But realistically, we're not going to super worry about it because you can. So technically, if you swim at 200 feet in 80 seconds, which is the standard with no swim speed, you can get 3,000 feet in less than half an hour, which is not that deep, but that's still like not nothing. Especially if you could breathe underwater. So as far as movement goes, we could cut it down to a half speed, I think is what it actually is. So keep that in mind as well. If you do not have a swim speed.
I think Reverie gonna draw his rapier, but is also going to hold back and kind of.
Okay.
But he does well. I take it underwater breathing. You can speak as well.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, he does kind of try to yell at Ruli, as weird as that feels underwater. Behind you.
Okay. Ruli, you have been told that these things are behind you, and Ruli, you are up. What do you want to do?
In my experience, how
Yeah.
dangerous are blinkfish?
Roll a nature check with advantage.
Nature, a famously great skill for me. Cool. How large is the school of fish? Since I
school of
apparently
fish.
know nothing about them.
Hey, they're pretty tasty.
How large is a school of fish? Are they within like a
so
5
this-
foot cube?
Yeah, definitely. So this school of fish is roughly the same space as you are. They're about a medium-sized creature, but there's a
Okay.
few fish that are in there.
So a 5 foot cube. Cool. I'm spinning around and kind of kicking backwards, both in seal form and not in seal form. I am faster than I am on land. I have a 40-foot swim speed, which is great. But I kick backwards and I'm going to drop the hood on my seal form to come back into my humanoid form. And she spins her hand around. I'm going to use shape water to freeze the water around the school of fish.
Okay.
And if they're within a 5 foot cube, that's how much I can freeze.
Yep. Perfect.
Like a
Freeze the
fish
water
ice
around this
cube. And then
fish,
I want
yeah.
to like grab it because I don't want it to float away.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna go straight up, especially in saltwater. Wowzers. Okay. Yes, yeah, they are. You're gonna freeze this water around these fish, as they are all going to just solidify. You got a 5 foot by 5 foot fish popsicle. Delicious.
If there's one near the edge, I'm going to start chomping on it. I will chomp through the ice.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll go back to my seal form because seals have teeth that can chomp through ice. So
Yeah, oh yeah. And with the seal form too, I mean, the fight's over. Goodbye. Sorry, Blinkfish, you did get frozen into a popsicle and then munched on by a seal. Wow, imagine if seals could do that for real. Okay, well, these Blinkfish are done. As you have now seen Ruli in her natural element. manipulating the ocean water of Sylvanthi and getting a quick snack out of it. The ocean beneath you is open, as you are currently in one of the deepest parts. Not the deepest part. You are not into the abyssal sea that is in between the islands of Sylvanthi. And really, you would know that. But as far as this part of the realm of Sylvanthi goes, you can see straight down, and you are again at kind of a cornerstone, corner piece, and you can see that you just passed through the realm of Nymphindor, and directly next to you, as you are looking over at these shimmering walls that still exist, you see the realm of Elassidir that is there.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, whether or not this was the Deep Below with capital letters, or if
Yes.
this was just
So not quite.
okay.
But actually, you all, as you travel through, I did forget to mention this specifically. You traveled through, before you even got to Sylvanthi, you moved through very briefly Eheb, and you moved through very briefly Gefelden. But you were at, again, kind of the center point. So those brief moments that you were in there, you felt those magics of those realms take hold of you. But as Kikalaki started moving through, you felt the new one take over. And Eheb's was very much, it made your skin crawl for a little bit as your body started to process what was happening, as it transitioned into Gefelden's, as you started to feel that you wanted to dream and sleep and think and exist, as that feeling vanished as you ended up back here until Sylvanthi itself, shaking off that power. So you did travel through actually a few realms just now. As you are still here in the realm of Sylvanthi, got a new fish popsicle. You got the depths below you, you got corals, but you also do see that you don't see the bottom where you're at right now. It's not the deepest part, probably, but it does go down. And it does get dark down there.
Yeah, I will quickly eat a snack. I don't want to hold everyone up, like
Okay.
the party up, so I will quickly eat a snack and then kind of let the giant ice cube go and float away.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then I'll take the hood off again. So we're supposed to go down. I don't think this is the dangerous part, even though it's shifted around. So we should be okay. Yeah, are we ready?
Are we trying to make an entrance?
That's a good question. I think maybe we just talk to him.
Well,
That
I mean,
seems
that's,
to
we
work
can-
for us.
I mean, we can certainly do that, but do we want to, like, do we want to show how cool we are when we go in, or do we want to just like seem like, hey, super normal people here to ask you a not super weird thing?
I mean, what do you have in mind?
I mean, I can get us there in style.
Go on.
Well, all I'm saying is I can get us there in style. We have to agree to this. We have to figure out, because look, once I do this, gonna kind of be a little bit difficult to undo it. Not saying it's gonna be a bad thing. I'm just, it feels a little bit like a kind of a one-way street sometimes. But I mean, if we don't want to go in looking super cool, then I mean that's fine too.
All right, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Does it involve cats?
0 cats.
Does it involve needles?
Like the super like thin like pokey needles?
Yeah.
Nope. No super thin pokey needles. Nope.
All right, and is it gonna like transmute me into something weird?
Probably not.
All right, I'm
I
in.
imagine any transmutations would probably take a pretty long time.
Oh, that's still a little concerning, but yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, if you think you have a plan for us, that's fine. I think I'm gonna stay a seal for now, because it's been a little while since I've been home. But I can swim alongside you, whatever you're doing.
Cool. So I'm about to be pretty fucking dumb for a little while. So I'm gonna like try to remember that y'all are a friend, not food. So if like one of you can like direct me to do stuff, that's probably a little bit better than me like acting on instinct, because I really don't know what this instinct is going to be. But okay, everybody stand way the fuck back.
What
And,
are you gonna turn into?
That's a really good guess. I hope it's not that fucking snail.
I hope it's not a shark.
Oh no, should be fine. I don't really know shark. That's not really for my, that's not really my biome. And Basque tattoo will glow, and the like super big gator on his back will kind of shift and move, and his skin will start to boil and stretch and kind of pull in way too weird in too many locations. And then there is a huge alligator, just over exaggerated upper jaw, kind of real thick webbing on the claws, and still moss and like dirt and filth kind of caked in between the super dense scales. And there's Basking enthusiasm, but not quite Basking's full thought process.
Huh.
Oh, and before Baskin transformed, he would have been like, okay, look, this is the one time, but if you guys want to ride me, this is fine. I won't eat you this time.
But you can still figure out that like friend or foe or things like that as well, right? You're still kind of you, but it does take a little bit of a, yeah, absolutely. It's weird transitioning especially for the first time, into this huge creature that you now are. As the rest of you now make space for this massive alligator version of Baskin.
Yeah, Jinx is gonna, well, first be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then struggle to swim over to Baskin to hold on to one of the scales, as she like tries to fly through the water and then realizes that doesn't quite work. So she's sort of just like floating awkwardly towards Baskin.
I can help you if you want.
Yeah, yes, please. How does this work?
I will take Jinx and very quickly swim over to. I was trying to think of a pond on Baskin and Gator, but I don't know that there's one there. I don't know. I'll keep thinking. But I put her on Baskin. But if we have to go deeper, it might get colder. That's where my magic comes from. So just be prepared for that. I don't know if this section does or not, though.
All right. Well, I can heat up soup with my magic. Maybe I can just like keep heating up the water around me as we go. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. I'll lead the way. And I flip my seal hood back up.
As you all descend into the depths of Sylvanthe, so you all start to head down. And it's faster for some of you than others, especially of those of you who aren't typically swimmers in your own right. But even in the struggle of slowed down movement, for some of you are thriving. Really, what a blessing to be back in Sylvanthe's oceans. Everyone
I know
else
you can actually move in 3D, which is how it's supposed to be, not just stuck on land.
Oh, incredible. As you start to move down, it gets darker and it does get colder as you are still in between the realms of Gefelden and Elassidir. As you start to head down, how close to the corner are you all staying?
I think pretty close, because
Okay.
like that's kind of where
You
we
know-
were told Big G is.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know that's the goal. As you stay tight in that corner and just head straight down, you start to see some pretty cool things in the waters around you. And here, especially as you are close to the corner, you can kind of see into some of these other realms as everyone make a perception check for me.
14.
Okay.
22.
Hey, a good perception check for me for
Alright.
once.
Okay.
Wait, I have advantage because I'm in the water. I forgot
Ooh.
about that.
Even better.
Nope.
Hmm.
19
Well.
was still better.
Yeah, with the 22, a 14, a 13, a 19, and an 11, you all see these things. Really, you see more than others as you are more adept at seeing underwater, but you all start to see that in the corners of both this realm and many, if not all of the other ones, there are other organisms that are swimming around here. And there are big ones, there are small ones. And the ones that catch your eye as you start to move lower and lower into the ocean, get more and more numerous, are the smallest of them, as you start to see more things that resemble, in some ways, not always, but in some ways resemble Garvin, as you see a lot of these sea slugs that are near the corners of each of these different realms. And as the closer you get to the tip of this corner, the more of them you see, and they are all the way up and all the way down this entire thing, as they are communing, it looks like, sitting around the center of this, where the realms meet. They are all in the same general area right now. And every once in a while, you'll see one of them shift into the realm next to it. That doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, you'll see one of them fly into the next realm, or boop, go into the wall that's right next to it, as they are all kind of congregating and kind of stuck. It's kind of, it's an actual physical barrier for them, it seems like. As every once in a while, though, someone will still be able to move through these different barriers. You also see some larger things as well, as throughout some of these other barriers, especially to the left and right of you, you see these more clearly than the ones that are more ahead of you. Over to your left, you see in the realm that can only be Elastirs, you see these large oak roots sticking out. At least parts of what you could see. There is a large fish that is just still swimming right over there. And every once in a while, you'll see a little bit of like force coming off of it as it starts to bubble the water around it a little bit. But it's not in your realm, and it is not a thing that you need to worry about. As to your right, you see into the realm of Gefelden, there is this kind of bright purplish red ethereal jellyfish that just kind of floats through. Again, not in your realm. As you start to look down, you do see, especially, let's see, who else would know this for sure? Ruli, you definitely see this. Revelry, you definitely see this. And Jinx, you can see that beneath you there is some light that's happening a little bit. It looks like there are some little specks down in the darkness beneath you. It gets dark. There's little specks of light, though, that are down there.
Have we reached a depth where the light does not pierce through?
You are about to reach that depth right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Because my
You are-
seal skin upgrades at level 8 when I do that.
Yeah. As you keep sinking and head towards these lights that you do see beneath you, and they get more and more clear as you transition from being in the light to being in the dark. That's not the button I wanted. As you change into being in the depths of the ocean itself, as the light vanishes around you. And you get a little closer to these lights. And now, as you get a little bit closer, the rest of you can see these as well. There looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of these red dots that go all the way back And this thing looks like it's not directly beneath you, but it looks like it is towards your bottom angle, bottom left-ish angle. Right now, you can't quite see how far away these lights are, but they look to be about at a diagonal of about 150 feet or so, you'd say, as you keep going down. So that you are dropping down and they are a little bit further away from you that direction as you are slowly descending towards their depth. If there's anything you want to do. You can see those lights are slowly starting to move closer towards you, in the sense that they are trying to now meet you where you are falling.
Do I recognize what those lights are? Have I seen them before?
Make me another nature check with advantage, please.
And as we're sinking down here, I don't know if other people can see it, but the currents of magic here swirl around Ruli and kind of soak into her seal skin. She now has, her skin of the seal is now a skin of the sea. I have additional things that I can do with it.
Okay.
You said advantage, right?
Yes, I did.
Natural
Whoa,
20.
there it is. There it is. So you do know what this thing is. In fact, you maybe have encountered or maybe fought, but that's up to you. This is not a huge creature. This is a medium fish that lives in the dark depths of the realm of Sylvanthi. This is a light devourer. It is a anglerfish in a sense, and it can do some pretty devastating moves and attacks. It does absorb light, and then with that natural 20, it can discharge that light as well. And that discharge of a light wave can incapacitate people or other fish or prey or anything that it might encounter. They can be pretty deadly, and not always. Some of them are pretty weak, but it's best to just be aware when there's a light devourer around.
Yeah. So I will get close to Alligator Basking and everyone else and flip my seal hood down and point it out. That can be dangerous. It's a predator. Sometimes they're easy to kill. Sometimes they're actually kind of deadly. We may not want to fight it, but it looks like it has seen us. So can absorb light and use it to stun people. So be careful.
Absorbs light, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Be a shame if something like darkness were cast onto it.
That could actually be useful, I think. I don't know. I've never tried it. I mean, if we don't want to fight it, maybe do that.
As you are still descending, and it is still getting closer towards you, it's now about 60 feet away from you. As you can see that the lights start to vanish from its body, the rows of lights that you were seeing start to dim a little bit.
I can hit it from here. Do we want to try preemptively putting it in darkness, or wait to see if it actually tries to attack us? I'm asking the group out of character.
Yeah. I worry about the stun thing. Do I know if it doesn't hunt by vision, right? It hunts by something else.
Yeah, so with the 20 still, I'll give you that. It does have dark vision, but it does need to, so it can absorb light in its area, and then the light that it has absorbed, it can then radiate that light out of it. And if creatures fail that, they, take some damage and are stunned for a bit. But as far as how it uses its senses to find them, you're pretty sure it does have eyes still, and it needs to light up the area at least. It needs senses in some way, shape, or form. But vision is probably still a thing that it does use here, because it does create some light. It might not have the best vision, but that is still part of its whole thing.
Yes. I think darkness would work because it'll blind it and it'll block the light that it flashes out. So I think that's a good idea, Jinx. I think maybe that's what we should do. Avoid the fight and keep going.
All right. So throw it out now or wait?
I would do it now because maybe it'll get scared and go away. It'll realize we're too much trouble.
Okay.
All right. If it's like an anglerfish and it has like a little
It does have a
bulb
little
thing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it right onto that.
Okay. As very minimal lights that you saw earlier are now just completely gone. As this whole entity is just engulfed in magical darkness. As you all continue to sink and swim down.
Awesome.
And out of the darkness swims nothing after you as you continue to descend.
Once we're at like a pretty safe distance away, Jinx will drop the spell, so it's not like, you know.
Okay. Yep, it's gone. And as you descend, as you disapparate the spell, there is no scent or sight of the Light Devourer anywhere near you at the moment. It seems like that was enough to at least spook it into going the other direction. As you all continue to descend into the bottom, it's dark down here. Who has dark? Everyone has got dark vision, probably.
Yep, I do.
I
Nope,
do.
not Baskin. Baskin, wow, you're hoping for the best, honestly. Because it's not a lot of light down here. And as you keep descending, a light piece does catch your eye way off in the distance. And at this point, you aren't sure how far away it actually is, or how big this thing actually is, as it could be right next to your face and only a couple of inches wide, or it could be miles away and miles long. Is this long, spiraling array of colors as they are all flashing bright reds and yellows and blues, and have made this incredible ribbon as it floats through the ocean around you. And it doesn't seem menacing or aggressive. It is just there. One of the few things of light down here in the Fade Depths. As you do eventually reach the bottom, what you see around you is the bottom of the ocean. As you can see that this is where the realms meet. And underneath you, you see that the bottom of the ocean has some holes. It has some pockets in it. And everyone, really quickly, roll me another perception check as we get our first glance at this portion.
Hey, 21.
Hey, yo.
Oh, 22.
All
Lucky
right.
13.
I am in my element now.
Whew, okay. Sweet. As you all look down, and I think all of you have made this perception check. Yeah, all of you have made this perception check. You see at the bottom where there are cavern openings. There are figures. There are things that are swimming in and swimming out, and they look like figures. They look like, at least where they're swimming around, they kind of look like they may be made of water, but have more of a physical body than just that. You see that there is this shallow dome on top, and the shallow dome has a couple of different entryways to it. There looks to be one entryway in each of the realms that you can see through. As traveling in between the realms, traveling inside of those different tunnels and those different caverns are these water organisms. You also see, and some of you can see this more clearly than others, sitting at the base where all of the realms meet, right on top, kind of hanging out by each of these different entryways, are 3 of these purplish crab. like creatures that have these bright red claws, and coming up out of their back is this really thick, long, pink neck with a mouth at the end of it, as they all sit right on top. And off in the distance, you can see, especially Ruli and Jinx and Par, you can all see this one. Looking off in the distance is a massive jellyfish, as it is heading in from the realm of Savanthe towards the corner where the realms meet, towards the corner where you are all right now. As you can see, parts of its body start to electrocute the water around it. As you know that this is down there somewhere where Big G resides, and where we're going to pick up next week when we come back.
Awesome. Oh, that's exciting. This was really fun. We're going to go on a raid here very shortly. Before we do, though, I want to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, anything they'd like to share or plug. And we'll go reverse order. So we'll start with Andy.
Oh, well, wow. There's a lot of really fun things that were happening in this episode. I really liked, actually, one thing I really did like that we maybe we'll talk a little bit more about next time is that Baskin did in fact send its eye with that mushroom. And that mushroom is in fact doing some stuff, and we'll check in with them next time. But Baskin has been doing this whole thing with one eye the entire time, and that has been pretty spectacular. That was one of my favorite parts, is plopping that eye out and making it go with the mushroom. So he still is keeping tabs on, and we'll remind you again a little bit what's going on with that next time. But that was one of my favorite parts. Right at the beginning, we got to something like that, and that was really cool. There's a lot of fun things that were happening in this episode, though, and I had a blast doing it. As far as where you can see me next, definitely next week. Here, we're going to be wrapping this up. We're going to be diving into Big G's domain and figuring out what is going on, finally, with the Feywilds and what ends up happening with, Baskin's employer's wants and desires. So I'm excited to see how we wrap up some stuff next week. Again, next week here on Wednesday. Tomorrow I might be doing a stream, but I might not. It's been a little bit of a hectic couple of weeks, so my schedule is a little bit funky. But you can find me on Twitter at Martinez Tweets. You can find me on Twitch at Martinez Streams, and I'll be around definitely on the internet for the next couple of days. Well, for a long time. Anyway, who's next?
Awesome. Next we got Anna. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Yeah, favorite part. It's gonna selfishly be Ruli finding out like what actually happened, because as a player I had no idea. I just put a backstory. This happened. She ended up back here. No idea what happened. So very much enjoyed finding out what actually happened, and that they came looking for her, which is wonderful. But yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun. When I'm not here, Sundays you can find me at 3 p.m. on Weave the Tale, playing Neon Revolution, our Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign. I play the burned out heir to a notorious crime syndicate. Lots of fun, so much queer romance and queer shenanigans. Definitely come check that out. Monday nights, you can find me on Party Wipe Games at 8:30 p.m. Eastern with Greetings from Republic City, our Avatar Legends campaign. I play a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe who was involved in the Water Tribe Civil War and has feelings about that and has since gone to Republic City. Every third Thursday, you can find me on Ballad of the Seven Dice playing Ryutama in The Timeless Journey. And the first Sunday of every month, except this upcoming month, it'll be July 17th instead, on Thorny Dryad's channel at 1 p.m. Eastern, playing U-Force Inheritance, our Masks ongoing campaign. I play a protege with far too much internalized responsibility for the party. And if sci-fi and podcasts are more your thing, you can find me at Response Team Omnicron. Lancer actual play podcast, playing through the No Room for Wallflower adventure setting, following a PR team who unexpectedly ends up on the front lines of a brewing conflict. We have roleplay focused characters, sci-fi feels, narrative first, giant mech battles. We are barreling towards 3K, and we're going to be doing another 3K downloads. We're going to be doing another giveaway then. So come see what all the fuss is about. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcasts and on Twitter at RT Omnicron. But the best place to see where and when I'm streaming is on Twitter, so give me a follow there.
Awesome. Next, we've got Par. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share or plug?
I think my favorite part of this episode can be summed up as Blink Fishsicle. It's great. I always love the creative uses of spells, and Blink Fishsicle I was not expecting. Caught me completely unaware, and it was great. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Par4re and at Par Professional. You can find me next back here for the finale, but I got nothing going on at the moment, so I'll pass it off to the next.
All right. Next, we got M. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I'm going to second the kind of reunion between Ruli and her previous party and finding out what happened. I didn't get misty-eyed. It's just dusty in here. That was really good. Also, yes, on the Blink Fishsicle. That was great. Also, I just love the weirdness of the deep ocean. So all the different critters there, it's like Mother Nature had an acid trip that day, or that whole thing. So getting to kind of see and just explore all the little critters and not so little critters appearing down there is really cool. I am at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist and I complain a lot. You can find me here again next week. And then I will be here on Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time for Welcome to Madison. It's a surreal horror TTRPG, and I play a NASA JPL scientist, and we are trying to stop basically a demon turf war. It is getting even more creepy. It's a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to being back here next week.
Awesome. Yeah, Welcome to Madison is really good. I highly recommend checking that out. And then next we've got Zan. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Yeah, my favorite part this time. I really just liked that Dram was down with an impulse tattoo. I did some of the weirdness and the shenaniganry that we all get into. You just kind of get like, oh yeah, it's a Fishsicle of Blinkfish. Yeah, I mean it's a Tuesday. This is normal. But every so often, it's just the little things that really throw me off, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dram's getting some ink. Yeah, that was so cool. Big fan of that little bit of impulse. What appeared like impulse. I do actually have one question before I finish up with the rest of my thoughts on here. Question about how deep hag magic goes. Does the gator only have one eye?
No, it does not, actually. So as you have the tattoo, you can still perceive what your eye is seeing, but this is a form that is not your form, and it's kind of like playing Animorph rules in this sense, where like if this animal was hurt, then you got the DNA of the organism, and that doesn't change at all, right? So as you are not in your form, that organism of the big crocodile, big alligator that you got going on there does have two eyes in the tattoo. That's what you're turning into right there.
Good
right?
to know. Good to know.
So you do have both eyes as you are in this crocodilian form. Yes.
Great. Hag magic ain't that creepy, at least.
Yeah, not that much at least. Kyle's tattoos are creepier. I don't know.
But yeah, you can catch me at Insanity TTRPG most places. I am still like I'm posting homebrew a little bit less often on Twitter at the moment. Things are a little bit rocky in the old personal life, but I hope to start posting those up again pretty soon. I'm going to be off stream for a few months after this, just trying to let everything even back out. But hopefully, I will be able to come back at some point and tell you all about some cool cons that I've pitched some panels to, and fingers crossed next week I've got something for there. You should also keep your eyes peeled on the Faustian Nonsense network for your podcasting stuffs. I am on 2 upcoming shows on there, so you definitely want to check out Super Suits. And once it's out, and just go ahead and listen to the Gorgon Show. The first 2 episodes are already out. Do yourself a favor. It's got the horse disturber in the first episode. It's a weird little show. Fun little fact, apparently the horse disturber's favorite thing is horse girls because they're easy to scare and then have their horses trample them. It's great. Yeah, that's my stuff. That's probably enough rambling from me.
All right. So my favorite part, the whole thing was great. I always enjoy when I can highlight my character's ADHD that they get from me. So that's always fun. But I think my favorite moment was the interaction between Ruli and Jinx, where Jinx is awkwardly trying to be supportive, but a little unsure how best to do that. And then the whole scene with Ruli and that other group and everything was just very moving. That whole part was wonderful. And also shout out to Alligator Basque because that's amazing. Let's see where you can find me next. That'll be this Friday for our last Avatar game, where our party will probably finally make it all the way to Ba Sing Se or just outside of it, assuming nothing terrible happens between where they are and that location. But we'll find out for sure on Friday. And then I'll be producing Welcome to Madison Friday night. And then on Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, you can find me GMing, I think, the last episode of Animus for this season. So that'll be the last one until August, because I will be taking July off for a little bit of a sort of mini sabbatical. So yeah, that's everything that's coming up. Some big episodes coming up. And then next Tuesday we've got one more episode of this, so I'll be back for that too, which I'm super excited about. Other things to share or plug, our sponsors, of course, which I will talk about in just a second, and then also go check out at Ravenflight Game on Twitter, which is the handle. It's short for Ravenflight Games, plural, which is the brand I'll be doing private paid games for. So check that out for different one-shots that you can sign up for. There's going to be information on like pricing and campaigns sometime early July. So you want to be sure to follow so you can get those updates, and you can sign up for games, which will be a lot of fun and really cool. I think that's it for my stuff. So yeah, sponsors. One thing I forgot to mention about this campaign in particular, I wanted to give a shout out to one of the supplements that we use, which is Children and Champions of the Fae. The Sprite ancestry comes from that, as well as a bunch of other stuff that we're using in the campaign. So it's really cool. Go check that out. There's a link to their DM's Guild PDF right there in chat. And then our sponsors are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play anything that you'd like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between, which we've done on this channel over the last couple of years. The book looks like this. You can pick it up on Amazon if you want the physical book. If you prefer a digital copy, or if you just want to try the free quick play guide, you can grab those over at coffee.com/Raven, like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen. And then our other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can find all their stuff at dieharddice.com. And if you use the code FUNRPG, all one word, all caps, you can get 10% off of your entire order. And then I highly recommend checking out the 7-piece set of the Mythica Gold Amethyst. They're metal dice. They sent me over a set of these recently. They're really pretty. Let me hold these up to the camera so you can see. They're really pretty. They got a nice weight to them. They're a lot of fun to roll. So go check that out. There's a link to that particular set right there in chat. And that is everything for me. So we're going to go raid Weave the Tale. It's a great group of folks over there. Give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And I will see you all on Friday. Bye, everybody.